Folks,
all right, I see.
It's time to blow stuff up.
It's time to blow stuff up.
That's right.
Caleb.
We're going to blow up minds. Brought to you by Jebediah Lang. As always, he is our benefactor for this podcast.
Our mascot.
Folks, it's the Producer Lounge. If you're new here, this is your weekly music production broadcast. We're going to talk about nerdy shit for however long it takes, okay? And that's how it's going to be. It could be days.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Could be here for a while.
I don't have a job, so that's perfect.
Sick.
All right, let's see how long we can go.
Folks, it's 225 episode number. No, it's not 2:25 in the afternoon right now.
It's like Caleb.
No, it's not. And we have a special guest with us this evening.
Who's our special guest?
It's Homemade Spaceship.
What up? Hey, guys. Yeah, I get some air horns. I love the air horn, dude.
Shit.
Off the MIDI fighter.
Welcome, buddy.
right.
Welcome.
Dude.
We're pumped to have you.
Yeah, let's go, dude. Oh,
yeah. All the
I'm
things.
utilizing the MIDI finder. You guys know.
Yeah.
Shit.
Everybody knows.
I don't know how to do it.
So how many spaceships have you made?
just one, dude.
Just one.
That's all
Just
you need, I
one.
guess.
One is all you need.
It's pretty jank.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you
that'll
know, it's
happen.
kind of got like, washing machine doors for portholes and,
you can work with what you got.
shitty
Actually,
old subs for thrusters and, just a microwave in the back. And we live off bean and cheese burritos, dude, in
Fucking
space.
right.
Did you get Bob Lazar to give you some pointers at all?
Dude, Bob
Or is he
Lazar
too busy?
is on the crew, dude. Yeah, so he's
okay.
actually my
Let's go.
tour manager.
Bob Lazar's my tour manager.
Yeah,
That's a t-shirt right there.
Dude,
That
is
is
so
hard as fuck.
Yeah,
Bob Lazar's my tour manager.
That's a great shirt.
He won't give me any of his secrets, but he chills, dude. He
course.
smokes all my weed,
Oh, yeah.
too, which is kind of annoying.
I've
but-
heard,
fun.
I've heard he does that.
yeah, he's chill. He's chill.
He
He's
never
chill.
brings his own. He's just like, yeah, hook it up.
It's kind of like the guy on the couch from the movie Half Baked and the
I've
spaceship.
seen that.
Yeah,
so he just
exactly.
kind of sits in the back,
Yeah.
and says some really insightful shit every once in a while.
But he did help design the spaceship.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
let him on the crew. That makes
Yes,
sense.
yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah,
Shout
you
out
get
Bob
to the
Lazar.
club,
We love
he
Bob.
fucking flies over.
yeah.
Hangs
Him
out
and
for a little
Carl
bit.
Sagan, if anyone's not familiar,
Oh,
Carl
let's go.
Sagan is one of my biggest influences.
Shout out
Dude said
Sagan.
a bunch of cool shit.
The pale blue dot, dude.
Sent a satellite to go take pictures of Saturn, and then just dipped out with nudes and a mixtape on it, dude. The golden record, dude.
Yeah.
Just a couple pictures of humans, and then
Yeah.
just a mixtape, dude. And whoever vibes with it,
It's yours.
It's just nudes and a mixtape.
Yeah, it is. It is, and then a map back to our planet. Yeah.
Which is probably the worst part.
I also
know.
have that
Is that a good
tattooed
idea?
on my stomach too.
No.
Yeah, I
Nice.
do.
Nice.
If the cameras, I don't see. Yeah, you can kind of see that, but that's in case when I do get abducted, that I can go party with the aliens, and then I'm like, just take me back here, bro. This is
Right.
where I live. Right here, dude. Let's just get in that. Yeah. No, that's always been a big thought in my head. Is that like everyone
good.
thinks of aliens as like these people who want to like probe you and do tests, but like I always figure like, what if there's some really chill aliens out there?
There might be.
There has to be.
probably is.
And
Yeah.
like some really cool ones who
They have
just
some-
want to party and just
Yeah.
like you can jam with them and stuff like that.
They have some crazy like bioluminescent weed.
Yes,
Just
exactly,
glows
dude. Or some shit you
Yeah.
never heard of, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, you smoke it once and it turns you just into like it gives you telekinesis or something.
It's like a purple goop of plasma. You like just eat it or something.
I actually wrote a song about that on my album. It's called Astro Jones, which is the name of the alien that I imagined myself getting abducted by. Who's
cool.
just super chill, has like a little mustache, and like, and is just a really cool guy. He's like, yeah, dude, I don't know. What do you want to do? You want to drive, dude? I'm like, yeah, dude.
I would like to try and ride
Yeah,
this. Yes,
dude.
please.
Heck yeah.
Please let me know if I'm going to crash us into certain death.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
It's probably
Also-
got some auto stoppers. And
We're
shit
just
on it.
whipping the spaceship around.
While I'm driving,
know?
you fucking throw some beats down on this laptop.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say
whatever it is,
what
dude.
What does the alien doll look like? I bet you that shit.
Dude, I bet it's just like it's in your mind. You know, they always say aliens communicate through like telekinesis and like or telepathy, right? So you got to imagine that you just like it's some sort of just
They do more than hear the waveforms. They see the waveforms.
they become one with the
the
waveforms.
waveform.
They are
So
the
easy,
waveforms.
So easy for
You get
them.
shit in phase pretty
Emanated.
It's
quickly.
honestly, it's unfair.
Yeah.
The aliens need to be nerfed.
Maybe once we get our music up a little bit, they'll show up.
Yeah,
and come take all the homies. You know?
Actually, that is our
that's what I
that's
feel
our
like.
goal.
Yeah.
Intergalactic tour.
Just waiting.
We have this podcast literally so that
Intergalactic
one
care.
day maybe we will make good enough music for the aliens to come
Exactly.
and
They're like,
us.
are you chill?
Yeah.
Like, check out 225 episodes of our podcast. That proves that we're pretty chill. We're pretty chill, guys.
The aliens are like, oh, they figured out rhythm. They're getting close. They're getting closer.
They're getting closer.
They've got FM
Aliens just
synthesis,
love
but they've
rhythm.
never heard of AZYX5 synthesis.
But they'll get there. They're
And
on
I'm
the
going to
right
show
path.
Rob because he's chill, dude. So
It's like multi-dimensional phase modulation.
exactly, dude. Fourth dimensional beats, dude. There's no length to the time of the song. It
Yeah.
just exists in the fourth
I
dimension.
feel like I should smoke more weed for this.
Do it.
I know, how did we got here quick?
God damn.
Dude,
Should I just
We
whip
are
out the
on a roll.
DMT? Should we just send it? Jesus.
I have a question for you.
All right,
Oh,
hit me. Okay.
I'll go for this is my new question I'm trying out.
Ooh.
We'll see how it goes.
I'm liking it so far.
What do you think is something that you do a lot that is like unique comparatively to other producers?
Oh, this is interesting.
No, what do I
like it's a
do
good question.
a
Good one.
lot
That's a good one.
that's
Thank you.
unique? You know, I don't know. I think that's something that I've done a lot more recently. I don't know if it's unique or anything. That's more of like a traditional songwriting thing, but I really like to like
Or I mean like
jam out something on
that
like
you do a lot that maybe everybody else doesn't. Like it's not like it has to. I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of production nowadays is a lot of just like,
Pretty
you know,
streamlined.
just kind of just like, yeah, grabbing stuff off the internet and trying to get stuff to work. And I've done that before in the past too. And I'm not like trying to throw shade, but it's like, I've been really into just like these ideas that sort of randomly come to me that I find. Cause like, I know we were talking about earlier before the podcast is like I grew up like jamming, right? Where it's just sort of like, and like
Totally.
when you like
Yeah.
are writing a song like back in the day before computers, before like everything's recorded all the time, you sort of play your guitar all the time or whatever, right? And then this little gem pops out of it, and you sort of keep playing that gem, and you're like, oh, I really like this, and then eventually you're like, I need to save up some money and go to a recording studio and record this and turn it into a song and stuff like that. So like I've been really into sort of like just sort of finding that one little riff that I played randomly. I have a piano in my house, like an old shitty upright piano, and just like to draw all over it and
yeah.
stuff like that. And like the other day, I was listening to this Raekwon song called "The Heavies," and it's got this really cool piano intro and stuff like that. And it was kind of like in my head. And I walked by my piano on my way to bed, and I just sort of was just like, and I was like, wait, like. We're not going to
turn it
bed.
back on.
Dude, I'm going to go downstairs and turn that idea into a song. And like, I don't know, I really like doing that.
Yes,
and
yeah.
I feel like I say this because like I was definitely going through a phase of doing that like a while back. I mean, I've been producing for over probably like 13 years now, 14, 15 years.
You got the
or so.
10-year mastery belt.
Oh, God.
Let's go.
I definitely was like for a while like so desperate to write a song. I want to go down and write a song so bad and stuff like that. And I just take all these different loops and try to make stuff work. But it's like I've been really into more of this sort of just like let's jam and just feel out some stuff. Maybe load up like a cool like Arturia preset or something like that.
I love that.
Or something I'm really into now, which is I think kind of more on that unique phase, is that I got a reamp box. And for anyone who's not familiar, so what you can do is you can actually like take the signal out of your interface, put it through the reamp box, and that'll take it from line level to instrument level. So then I can run it through all my guitar pedals and my amps and stuff
So
like
sick.
that.
I love that.
And I mostly do the guitar pedals because I have like a bunch, because like I've been playing, like, I'm collecting them since I was like 13, 12. So I've just shelves of them. And so I'll just like kind of like take like a stock Ableton piano, run it through my pedals, and then just sort of feel it out. I actually, I wrote a song with the homie Waylo. Shout out Waylo. Love that boy. Very nice boy.
He was one of the first people to like ever put me on to anything. Like he
Oh,
found me
he's
from like a
so
Twitch.
underground and legit. It's insane, dude. I love that guy.
We were in like Twitch feedback streams together, and then like that's the whole thing. But
Yeah. Yeah, and so I just kind of ran this like stock Ableton upright piano through a Line 6 DL4, which is like a really cool delay pedal, and it's got this like cool auto volume effect. I ran it through a Univibe pedal, and I also ran it through this like booster pedal, this tube booster pedal, and like the way that it came out, like the piano got all flattened. I compressed the crap out of it and all that boosting and the little grit and stuff like that. It gave me like the inspiration to like play some twinkly shit up top, you know, or something. And that twinkly shit just got like so smashed, and like all that delay and all that other stuff sounded so cool. And like I really like doing stuff like that. Like you sort of sit down and just open up your antenna, you know, and just start just like putting yourself out there, you know, and then when that thing does come, you know, you're like, that's it. I'm gonna run with that, and it's made production like so much less. Yes, exactly. Production so much less stressful. You know, I hate that feeling of I'm gonna put something together. I'm gonna just put all this stuff. It's like, no, sit there and just vibe, like, and wait for something to come to you. You know, and if something doesn't come to you, that's fine, Preach. Man.
It is.
It's almost like surfing. Like you show up to the beach. You know, you might get some like shitty 4-foot waves, and you have to chill there for an hour. But eventually, that wave comes in, and you're like, go, well, come on.
My analogy that I said this during the Ableton headquarters seminar I did. That's all on YouTube too, if anyone wants to watch it.
So check that shit out.
We'll link it. And I say it's like writing music should be like fishing, right? Like you just gotta love going fishing, man. Like you just gotta really love the idea of just going to the river or the lake, setting up a lawn chair, having a beer and a cig, and just sitting there, you know, and like, yeah, you know, and you might catch something, you know, and whatever you catch is like, that's what you caught today. That's cool, man. And if you don't catch anything that day, you still had a good time sitting by the river, you know, and it takes a lot of stress off of production, you know, and it's like, too, like, what did I do? I sat down all day and wrote a fucking piece of shit song. Well, that's a lot better than sitting around and watching Netflix all day, you know, or losing at Fortnite all day or some shit like that, which I definitely do. You know,
we need a gospel pad to start playing. No, it's just the quiet one that plays under the preacher when he starts going ham. So when somebody starts going, it's just like, starts fucking going.
But I really like that idea of just chilling, man, and letting it come to you, and being okay with writing bad songs. Like, there's a Grizz quote too that really stuck with me. He's like, I forget what he said. I think it was Grizz, but he's like, Grizz. Dude, like, he's like, everyone thinks I'm sort of like God tier musician, and it's like that's so not true. He's like, I write like 10 out of 10 songs I write, like 8 or 9 of them are complete dog shit, where you'd be like, how did they let this guy headline Red Rocks? But he's like, one of those out of that 10 usually is like, holy shit, I snapped. Like, this is so sick.
Sure, yeah.
You know, and those are the ones you keep. And like, that's why I love just going to the river as much as possible whenever I can, and really like loving it. Because if you do take that stressful approach, you don't want to go make music. You don't want to sit down and do it because it sucks. And you're like, I gotta catch a giant largemouth bass or I hate myself. You know, and it's like, no, dude, just have another beer and sit by the river.
We're fishing.
You know?
We're not catching.
Yes, we're fishing, dude. And I think the universe respects that too.
Yes.
You know, like, quit yanking on my cosmic udder, dude, all the time. Like, you're chafing me.
So,
you know, just vibe.
We talk about this
throw a little
concept
XY on that shit.
Right. Ooh, we talk about this concept of
modulator.
Of
course.
The concept of the muse.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Where like my whole thing is like, the muse can't do anything unless your hands are on the keyboard. Yeah. You have to show up. And even then, there's no guarantee that she's going to show up. You are just there and ready. And when she comes, you won't even know it because it'll be 4 hours later, and you're like, oh my god, I fucking just jizzed all over the computer. Yeah, it's the fucking best. But you have to go mining. Like, you're not going to get any gems sitting at home. You have to go to the mine, and you have to sit there and just start slamming the wall.
Yeah, you gotta love that. You gotta love writing shitty music too, you know. Yeah. And I love it, dude. I've gotten to that point, and ever since then I got so much more productive, you know, loving writing shitty music. I'm like,
you figure out
this sucks, dude.
Yeah, because
like, that's funny.
like for me, all I'll just stick on a song until it's one of those 1 out of 10.
Yeah.
Like,
You will do that, huh? That's crazy.
It's just the way I go. Like, I'll just sit there and I'll establish at least some idea of what's happening, because I don't really write with any preconceived notion. I'll kind of be like, I want to make a drum and bass thing, or I'll have like an idea, like I like this song, so I'll make something that's like that. But I'll just kind of get there and then I'll start, and whatever comes. But you have to be there.
You have to be there.
Yeah, whatever comes.
And then that's another thing too, is that you have to love that process. And if you want to show up for the process, that's gonna be way more productive than like showing up because you just want to be backstage so bad and you want to be so cool, and you want to be the person on stage. It's like, you keep chasing that, it's going to be a very painful adventure.
That's not what it's about. That's not what it's about.
Lot,
that's not what it's about. And that's an outlet.
Cry. And it's going to suck.
There's something so valuable about, like, enjoying the act of creation itself, not necessarily what the end product is, which is, like, what you're saying, like, you're going to write a bunch of shit music, but, like, have fun and, like,
it's the most primal part. Like, the primal part is not playing the music in front of other people. The primal part is just making the music.
And what really like brought that to my attention too was when I started studying like the science of sound and cymatics and shit like that. Like a sine wave, right? And it's like 440 hertz. That means like a sine wave at 440 hertz means that sine wave is hitting your face at the speed of sound 440 times a second. Yeah. Right? So you take like that, you take that sine wave, and then you take another, which is just wiggly air, right? It's just a change in air pressure, right?
Yeah.
We're just pushing air wiggles.
And look, I can see it on the mini meters. I did a good one there. And then you take another one, and I don't know the exact frequencies, but let's say it's like you take 440, and then you take another wiggly air at like 522, and then you take another wiggly air at like 597, and like... that'd be A minor chord, maybe. I don't know the exact numbers, but like, and then now you're telling me this wiggly air made me feel sad?
I know.
Like, what's going on with that? That's pretty crazy. That's like pretty special,
There's a lot happening there.
You can think that like everything in the world is like broken down into frequencies, whether it's like light or like the density of matter or some shit like that. So it's almost like music is like the making art with the code of reality.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So it's like, what the fuck am I doing in my basement at 2:32 in the morning on a Wednesday?
At 4:32 in the morning.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. Yeah, 4:32 is the best time to write music. I only write at 4:32.
Right. That's when I wake up.
Did I misunderstand that YouTube video? Shit.
So I just sampled the thing for a pre-drop vocal where this guy is like, okay, I'm going to show you how you can manipulate everything with frequencies. And you're like, this has to go in a song.
That's perfect.
He's the sickest guy to sample too.
I can't remember his name.
Some like Tesla
but
type shit.
He built a Tesla coil in his backyard, analog. So he uses like it's all old school, and he can send power to his friend. I mean, he can send it to anyone as long as you're tuned to the right frequency. But his buddy in Minnesota, which was like 3 states away, he sent and powered a light bulb from like his Tesla coil.
Yeah, Tesla was on another level, dude, with all that stuff. He was like, loved his pigeon.
He's like 20.
He married his pigeon. Invented Wi-Fi and free energy. It's like, we better stop talking about that, or Hillary Clinton's going to show up and make us all commit suicide.
It's not that kind of podcast. I wish it was sometimes.
If Hillary's watching, we didn't mean it.
They were found.
We don't know what we're talking about. We're high.
Yeah, we're on DMT. We smoked alien plasma. Come on.
It was a conspiracy.
Yeah, it was a conspiracy theory, I guess.
Oh god. Yeah, but you think about that stuff, and that really helps you make music too. Just being like, oh god, like I'm fucking with the basis of reality right here,
building blocks.
And it makes me want to fucking party or like feel sad or like or feel happy or like get up out my chair
or feel inspired, like you're bigger than what you are, which is like the best thing.
And that's insane. I feel like that is like you're connected to, which is crazy. The craziest part about like music and like one of the things in like the journey is like making that special little thing at 4:32 in the morning or whatever, right? Like that made me feel so good, and then you go play it for other people in a big crowded dark room, and they're all like, that makes me feel that way too, or my own special type of way.
Right?
You're like, what the fuck am I dealing with here? This shit is
magic,
dude.
It is some wizardry.
Absolute wizardry.
You're like,
dude, it's
like Bruce
awesome.
I feel you on so many levels, and to dig into this well would be.
Yeah.
We could go forever.
We could just dive right down this.
Let's go back to a surface level.
Yes.
Real quick.
Let's go back up for air.
Are there any recent sound design choices you've done? Sound design choices that you really fucking like.
So one thing that I've really loved that I've been doing is I made my own I call it fat rack, right?
Okay,
which is definitely a thing, right?
Hey, shout out.
But I love my fat rack because it lets me take. So basically, what it is a saturator, a couple OTTs, a really fucked up EQ that I just will move around because I put the EQ before the saturators and before the OTTs, so I can do whatever I want with it, And just having this one little quick rack I can put on stuff allows me to take any simple waveform or any simple shape or something like that. One of my favorite things I do a lot is I just have a sine wave with a decay of maybe a second or something like that. But because I'm juicing that so hard through all that processing, is that it gets all these unique movements and shit in it, and it's I'm not relying on these presets or certain wavetables I gotta find or something like that. It's just anything simple I can run through this fat rack, and it usually comes out cool and drop worthy. And also, it's my own sound too,
for sure.
And I went through a big phase of being oh, I can't do the same thing twice. I have to reinvent the wheel every time. And then I'm my music got too busy. It started well, that doesn't sound like homemade Spaceship or whatever the fuck that is, But it's finding my own little formula, my own little fat rack and stuff like that. Is has really helped me hone in on my sound, which I found is a very grungy, kind of dirty, distorted kind of fun thing, and it's helped me find my own sound. It helps me work faster. It makes things a lot more fun and stuff like that too. Especially with the open-endedness of the formula is that so I have a low shelf on the EQ8 before all this stuff, and I get so many different sounds if I boost it 3 decibels, if I boost it 15. And sometimes I want to get really crazy. I'll throw Pro Q in there because that lets me boost up to 30, and I'll start grabbing random frequencies, or maybe because Pro Q has the keyboard underneath too. So I'm all right, let's take the fundamental of the song or something and find that note, boost the fuck out of that. Now I've got this cool whistling bass and stuff like that. And it's it feels really good. And I still do use Serum presets and I do other stuff like that, but it's really cool to have that at my disposal of this sort of open-ended playground. That I can just use that has my own sound to it, and I think that that's something I want with my music is to have this cohesive vibe people can expect and come back to while being able to still make it new and exciting too at the same time. It's kind of my fat rack feels like my trusty guitar amp that I love a lot.
Hey,
it's got my tone to it and stuff like that. Doing also, other weird stuff too.
Making your own sounds, even if you're changing your shit up all the time, trying to figure out new stuff, you will naturally do similar shit because your ear's kind of like a thing. And you kind of like a thing.
Well, especially once you hit a thing, you're I'm going to start doing that on a lot of things.
Yeah. This is a nice little trick that I will do all
which
the
is
time.
the fat, the fat rack. It could be a comb into this or whatever, and you're I'm going to do that on a bunch of things.
Yeah.
But it's the exact same thing.
And then something new comes out too, new Ableton's new auto filter. It has a bunch of cool new modes.
Oh, I heard.
So now I'm all just throwing that in there now and spicing it up. Be I wonder how this will sound in the stew.
In the stew.
Let's add a couple bay leaves. Let's add maybe some pork this time. Maybe some cucumbers. Cucumbers I wouldn't expect to taste good, but oh god, wow, that actually adds a nice
throw the bones in there.
One of my favorite on that same subject, new sound design tricks that I've been doing for a minute now is to just take EQ3 in Ableton. So if anyone doesn't know, a lot of those stock Ableton and any audio plugin doesn't especially equalizers don't do exactly what they say they're going to do, right? And a lot of times there's weird crossover things that fuck stuff up. For example, the 4x filter on EQ8. It doesn't just cut shit off. It actually boosts shit in a fucked up way.
I believe you.
So if you don't believe me, what you can do is limit your master and then put EQ8 4x filter at 100 hertz right there, and now your master's 4 decibels louder.
Yeah, I believe you.
Why if you're just cutting stuff out, why would your master get louder?
I came into this problem a few months ago or whatever, and I'm like, why is it getting louder when I put the EQ on? And it's like cutting decibels out. Like maybe it's like causing a peak or something.
It just doesn't do what it says it's going to do.
Since it's come up enough, you have to pay attention.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just have.
Welcome to
that's
details.
That's why you have your clipper from the track that you're working on up while you're working on it.
Yes. So when it does fuck up your mix, you can tell.
No, we're good. So
that's why I love mixing in the red or writing in the red. So I love to write my tracks like 2, 3, 4 decibels,
same.
clipping on the master. Because if like my bass is too hot or something, like there's something really resonant or fucked up, I hear that right away. Because all of a sudden my speakers are like, oh shit, like that's not proper. But one of my other favorite tricks recently on the subject of plugins not working properly is EQ3. If you just take one instance of EQ3 in Ableton doing nothing, right? No boosts, nothing. And just duplicate it like 40 times.
Yeah.
It creates like a dispersion, like all pass. Because it's like, I think what it's doing is it's like slightly
all of the crossovers.
Building up the crossovers with like a little bit of phase in between because like the little bit of like 3 samples or whatever that it's taking to process.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll just fuck everything up and it gives it like the coolest, gooeyest sound, which is like another cool thing that I do a lot to kind of contrast the roughness of my fabric.
Now.
I bet it doesn't work in Bitwig.
No, Bitwig has its own issues.
Yeah, it does have its own issues.
Like if you run the equivalent of what would be the EQ in...
I mean, EQ8 is equivalent to EQ5, but that's not the one that has the issues. It's the
parametric.
It's the EQ plus.
Yeah, the parametric with the crossover and the...
Yeah,
it
has some major issues.
Yeah.
If you run it parallel, you'll get fucking crazy phasing
weird
problems,
phasing,
especially in the high end.
Artifacts, shout out Artifacts, taught me about this thing called Plugin Doctor. And it actually like analyzes your plugins and tells you what like extra bullshit they're adding.
Yeah.
And he was telling me that like kilohertz stuff actually is like some of the cleanest like plugins and like filters and whatever.
You have no idea how happy you just made those two.
I'm getting a lot of air horns right now. A lot of air horns.
We should be sponsored by Kilohertz.
Kilohertz sponsors.
Yeah. Most of their shit's free, so you can just pretend you're sponsored. It's like getting on the guest list for a free show.
Yeah.
You know, so
I mean, we could just put like
we basically
like a Kilohertz banner or something.
Just do it. Why not?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Like, cool.
For sure.
Yeah.
So we had a quick question in chat real quick from Hershey. He says, is it a bad idea to put OTT on a group? I just don't want to cook my mix, LOL.
So
also, thank you for the sub, buddy.
Yeah. So there's no bad ideas.
That's exactly what I said.
This is experimental music. You know, we're not making like classical shit. You know, you're not making espresso by Sabrina Carpenter or anything like that. You know, this is weird stuff, and every style and genre is different. You know, I had a student who was actually talking about
stuff here.
He told him to put OTT on all of his groups, right? And I forget exactly who it was, and I want to name names anyways, but with that person's, because I checked out that person's style of music, and it was very heavy, very distorted music, you know? And the whole thing was just in your face and grimy and aggressive, you know, very much on like a EPROM kind of vibe or some shit like that, or, you know, very distorted and heavy. And so, yeah, it works for that. But like, if you're like closey and you have these lush chords and you have these other things going on, like, I probably wouldn't do that, you know?
Time and place.
And so the answer to that question is always just try it and see if you like it or not, you know, and that's the end game here, because like, you know, your music should be your music, and you know, there's like I mean, like I was like,
I feel like Closey might have the fucking OTT on the master a little bit.
You might, yeah, you know, and you never know to get all that stuff to glue.
If you get that shit, yeah, exactly. You have
10%.
so much going on, and then just a touch of OTT to just
and it's just a multi-band compressor, you know, which is great. But I have an analogy with that. I always talk about this with like clipping your masters, and I call it the panini analogy, right? You know, because a panini is like that press sandwich, you press it down, right? Yeah. And it's like some sandwiches are like a Cubano, right? It's like like ham, cheese, pickles, and mustard. That's it. And that's what I would call like a Subtronic sandwich, you know? Like you can take that sandwich and clip the fuck out of it and distort it. And you're not going to ruin the pickles or the ham or the cheese by getting it hot, you know, or the bread.
You gotta make it delicious.
But now let's talk about like an emancipator sandwich, right? That's got like lettuce and sprouts.
Bonobo.
And like cherry tomatoes on it. And now if you take that in a panini press and get that shit all hot, you're going to ruin that shredded romaine lettuce, like those lush chords and shit like that.
Oh, I love this.
You know, so it's like...
I love the analogies. I'm a huge analogy guy.
Huge analogy guy, yeah.
Let's go. A huge analogy.
But yeah, you know, it just always depends, and you got to try it. And another analogy I have, kind of in this regard, is I call it the chainsaw analogy, and this is what I always talk about, like using audio effects in certain ways, like with a compressor or an EQ or anything like that. You know, especially these more basic effects. There's really one intended way to use it, right? You know, an EQ is like multi-band volume, right? You're supposed to boost things a little bit, maybe cut out a little bit, right? And that's how you're supposed to use it. But you can always misuse it too. Correct. And fucking wank shit with it. And so it's like a chainsaw, right? A chainsaw is intended to cut down trees, right? But I could open a beer with a chainsaw. That's not what chainsaws are for, but it's a really fucking cool way to use a chainsaw. You know,
you're not wrong.
So like, there's like, you know, doing whatever you want.
People juggle a chainsaw.
That's amazing.
Exactly, chainsaw jugglers, right? That's not what they're for, dude.
No,
but it's fucking cool.
I mean, just jugglers in general. You know,
it's pretty fucking.
Those
insane.
are bowling pins, dude. They're not even for juggling.
Another good point.
Fuck, bro. You can take this analogy all day.
Yeah.
I like to use cooking analogies with music all the time.
Cooking always works.
Because it's...
Panini.
It is like... Especially with electronic music, because it is more like cooking than baking, where in a band / even further back to like orchestral music, it is more of a... Like you're baking a cake. And there are like... some elements that you kind of have to follow to a T to make sure it works and it comes out not sunken and fucked up. But with electronic music, it's kind of like cooking, where like as long as you don't add too much salt, anything kind of goes.
Anything goes. Also, another good point about that too is that like that's why it sucks to try to sound like somebody else.
Correct.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I want to sound like Excision. Oh, I want to sound like Millennium. All right, cool. Well, you've got some fucking rules to follow now, buddy.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you've got some shit you've got to do right. But if you want to do your own thing and be completely unique, there's no fucking rules. You know.
Yeah. You get to invent the rules.
You get to make up your own rules. It's a Nipsey Hussle quote I really like. It was like, "Stay in your own lane. There's no traffic there." You know. And rest in peace, Nip, dude. That dude is a legend, dude.
But it does introduce option paralysis, which is a big problem for a lot of people who aren't, and I'm not saying this in like a bad way, but like aren't like in it for the true, like I need to just do this because this is how I live. Like there's option paralysis kind of for me, but it's more of like you're a kid in a candy shop. Like it's like, oh, I can do whatever I want to all these sounds.
But that
Ooh,
also
fun.
sucks. Yeah.
Right. But there's some people who are just like, and you're like, maybe this isn't for you.
Yeah, maybe there's, like we said earlier, there's other hobbies.
There's
too.
other things. Listen, there's like I get it. It is daunting. You can do whatever you want to that sound. Literally everything you want.
Yeah. One thing I've always said too is that like while you're sitting there for 30 seconds thinking about what to do, going back and forth as to what you should do, you could have spent that 30 seconds just trying random shit. Like
Correct.
you have an undo button.
Yeah.
Like bring it back to like the first studio I worked at.
Mute it.
Correct. We recorded everything to tape a lot of the time. Undo on the tape machine is hard.
Yes, correct.
You know,
It's
you
another
gotta
tape.
get up out of the chair, wheel that shit back, listen to it, get out the razor blade and the chalk, like cut the tape it, literal cut and paste, but like you have an undo button, bro. That's fucking. And also in Ableton, they added the whole undo history with like a option command Z now or something like that. You literally go back and undo like any little thing. So it's like, dude, just fucking take a whiz, dude. You know, just like let her rip, and
absolutely.
That's when the magic happens, and that's where these people are always like, I didn't write the song wrote me. You know, like I don't know where it came from. I'm just a vessel. It's like, well, you say that when good things happen, but not the bad things. But also, it's like,
that's crazy. What?
That's actually a Megan Hamilton quote. That's a shout out,
good
Megan.
one. That's
Shout out to Megan Hamilton.
She's so real. I love her. But you know, it's like, you know, you might have been spoken to by an angel, but also you might have just been doing random shit and having fun. You know,
right.
and like, you know, you got to not clench the teeth in that regard. You know, you got to just fucking fuck, dude. Like, I can always go fishing again tomorrow. I can always write another song tomorrow.
I just always feel,
you know,
such a relief every time something happens that I enjoy.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a miracle.
Showing back up to my girlfriend being like, I mean, I tried.
I tried, yeah.
I was hanging out. I made some cool sounds.
Yeah, and then you can always use those sounds later too, you know.
Yeah,
like that's another
usually they
thing.
get
Is there's
used
something
eventually.
redeemable about that.
Yeah.
And like I'll say
Recycling.
this about my writing process too, is that like I always like those bad songs that I write, there's always something good, like a good drum rack that I put together, or some good bass sounds that I made, or a cool ARP that I made, or something like that. The other day I wrote a really shitty song with this cool Max for Live device called Arpeggiator, where you just kind of like set the note, you play the notes you want on the keyboard, and you slide a fader around, and it just arpeggiates the shit. I wrote a really bad song.
Cool.
But then I was like, the next day I was like,
Sounds
what does
great.
this song need? I was like, I should use the arpeggiator thing again, you know? And I went back and did that. And like, same thing like with my writing process. Like a lot of times I get those notes, I get that idea, and like I'll never like I rarely ever sound design when I'm songwriting. You know, like I'm always just like, I have the notes I need, or like a note, and I just start going into my collections in Ableton of all the sounds I've saved, which are either sounds I've made, presets I've saved, or presets I've sort of like thought were decent and made them into something better. And then I just start throwing random different sounds on that note, and then eventually one of them hits, and like it's always like I'm looking for a wub, and I want like a whoop right there, but then I accidentally grab like a weird like stab that started with a W or something like that, like wonderful stab with a WU or something like that, and I'm like, it's like
That's a good troll
you know,
move.
and I'm like, what the that's it,
sample
that's so
back.
good. And it's like, I don't feel like I thought of that, but I'm just trying shit as fast as I can, you know. I saw there's like 18 hours of Subtronics producing on YouTube, and like
I've watched all
my
of it.
biggest takeaway was how fast he worked, and like in a minute he would go through like 52 awful sounds and then one good sound, but he was doing it so fast,
And
you
would
know,
try,
and he was like
different rhythms with the sound. Let me pitch the sample
yeah,
up. Let's try it
and
double
like
time.
he just tried so much stuff so fast, throwing in different shit
Yeah.
so quickly that like he went through so many bad ideas, but he found one that works, and that's all you really need.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
It's almost a similar concept of like the write 10 tracks to get one good one.
Right,
Yeah.
you just work on the
Write
same song.
20
It's all
riffs or
fractal.
concepts or
Right.
fractals.
It's all a fractal.
It's all fractal.
It's literally what we do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's literally what I
Just
do.
sit there and just.
I'll sit there and riff all day
Figure
until I
out-
get
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I'm just in there. I'm building out a drum kit, and usually that's easy because that's fucking just fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
like,
It's easy to make
Try
drums
to
sound cool.
capture like a fucking vibe within all your parameters there.
Yeah.
I love that. Fucking
Yeah.
sit there, make a drum beat.
And getting a good drum rack going, or like a good bunch of drum sounds
Yep.
too. Like I spent a lot of time building a nice like boom bap dubsteppy drum rack, and
Oh, sick.
yeah, and then I've used it in like so many songs, just like
Nice.
the same thing too. Just going back to that, I'm like, I used to joke with my students too. After I figured that out, I'd always be like, all right, cool. So when you find a good kick, you're going to use that kick, and then after you write that song with it, you have to delete that kick from your hard drive. You're never allowed to use it again. It's like, no, dude. Like, use it again, dude. Did Incubus change the drum set on every song on their album? You know? Like, no, dude.
Sure.
Like, use that shit that you like and run with it.
Purity
So,
Ring, actually, one of their first albums, their whole point was like, we made this set of like a drum rack kind of thing, and here's like a few melodic plucky sounds, and here's our bass, and they used specifically those same sounds for every song on the album.
Yeah.
And they were like, we're just gonna do this and see how many songs we can make with it, and then it all gelled nicely, and it was all
Sure.
still unique enough. Like
Sure.
every song, like it feels like it's in a vein together, but it's all like, oh no, that's very obviously this song versus this song, you know.
And it gives you a
I always thought that was
sound
cool.
too, you know, and that's
Yeah.
really important. You know, you want people to listen to like other people's music and be like, damn, that sounds like a fucking Odessa song,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, right.
Like, oh, because they dominated that style. They have a style. Now that sounds like them now,
Yep.
you know? So,
Oh, I used to love Odessa. I still love them, but like,
yeah,
fucking,
I've always said a good test for your style and your sound is to remix somebody else's song. and like especially like an EDM song, because like it's cool to remix like classic rock songs or like rap songs, but like remix a Ganja White Night song or something like that, and put your sounds in it and see what your style is. You know, like look at like LS Dream, like you would have some ARPs in there, some Redux wubs and stuff like that. You know, and shit like that. And that's a cool test to figure out like what your style is. What do you do, and capitalize on that. One of my favorite metal bands, Every Time I Die, they said in an interview one time, they're like, man, we were doing all sorts of different shit as a hardcore band and stuff like that. We sort of had this like couple southern rock type like hardcore songs, and then like we started seeing dudes in like Carhartts and flannels showing up to our shows, and we just decided to like triple down on the southern rock thing, and then boom, we exploded. You know, we found our niche. I don't know these
guys. What are they called?
Every Time I Die.
Every Time I Die.
Oh, listen to The Coin Has a Say.
Every time I die.
You know, that's cool and way better lyrics. Yeah. Yeah, you know, really finding your style and those sounds, reusing them, and like I said with like the Fat Rack too and shit like that, you know, find out what you like, what you do. Like I love a grungy, dirty style with like that spacey cosmicness to it, you know.
Right.
And
it's
like,
weird to think back to when I was first starting to produce and had those thoughts of like, how do I find my sound and whatever. And now like I can't really put it into words, but it's like it's obvious how you find your sound.
Yeah, it's what you're good at and what you really
it's
like
what
too.
you gravitate towards.
Also,
like that's all it is. You just continue to do
the things that you like doing.
You like doing,
and as long
and
as
do
you
that.
do that for at least like 5 to 10 years, guess what? Now you have a sound.
Yeah.
And
so
like as long as you don't lie to
simple it is.
yourself,
Yeah.
it's not hard.
Frequent Nolan was saying something along the lines of that, where it's like, do you like the sound of a saw wave or a square wave more? Oh, you like square? Cool. That's an inclination of
and
your
it doesn't
sound.
mean you
Like,
can't
man,
use a
it's that
square or a
simple.
saw. Like it doesn't mean that. It's just
Yeah.
like eventually you're gonna lean towards certain things and certain vibes, and it's just gonna like kind of happen as long as you don't lie to yourself. As long as you don't like try to do a thing really hard and you're just like, this is cool. This is cool.
I also feel like too, like
hard.
your musical style should be like something too related to like these, like maybe like a couple different artists, like two of your favorite artists, and like what's that gap in between them that hasn't been hit yet?
Exactly.
Like for me, is like the first thing that got me into electronic music, from going from being like a metal person playing in like hardcore bands to like making electronic music, was Pretty Lights, you know?
Sure.
And like seeing that organic, fun, like, you know, style of shit, but like it wasn't heavy enough for me. It wasn't hard enough for me. And then I remember seeing Rusko and like Skrillex too was a big one. Yeah. And Skrillex is like, I remember seeing him at summer camp too, like that same year, and like he got his beat repeater stuck, and it was just like, rah, 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 and I was like, okay, that might be a little too much right now. And you know, I was like, man, if I could like, I would really love to make music that's like got that groove and that like, you know, cosmicness to it, as well as that just like high energy fucking yank, you know, and shit like that. And like that really inspired me, and it was also cool because then again, you know, you're not like chasing. I want to be exactly like Pretty Lights, you know. Well, that's going to be really hard, you know, because that dude spent his whole life figuring
Trying to
that
his
out.
thing, yeah.
You're never going to catch up to that.
No.
You know?
And even if you do, everyone in the comment section on SoundCloud is going to be like, dude, fuck yeah, this reminds me of Pretty Lights.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's
Or
you're
they'll
always
call
going
it-
to be in the shadow.
Right.
that was a big thing in
Correct.
Denver when I moved out, and everyone would call them mini lights.
Mini.
You know, you know,
Yeah, there's lots of them out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, really doing your own thing there, finding that gap, finding your formula. I think that formula where it's like a good formula where you can kind of change what you're putting into it, so you get different results, but it's sort of the same process.
Right.
You know?
Right. Exactly.
It is really good too, because you don't have to reinvent the wheel every time.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
which is cool. And every once in a while, go for it. Try to reinvent the wheel. Have a fun time. Like I write a lot of like rock songs in Ableton too. Like I know you guys had Spades on. Like me and Spades the other day wrote like a really
let's go.
cool, like kind of emo rock kind of like vibe and shit like that. And that was cool too, to just change it up and try something different. And like I've written a lot. I still write, like I have my little Steven Slate drummer, like Get Good Drums type like drum thing, and like I have my guitar stuff, and I'll write like metal songs every once in a while when I'm bored and just branch out for a second and come back.
sure.
And I always learn something cool from that too.
Always.
It's nice to
There's
sort of
always
flip
nugs.
it, you know.
Always nugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same. I just write like a fucking singer-songwriter fucking piece of shit.
It's fun, dude. Yeah.
That's the direction I go.
Turn on the auto-tune and drench the reverb and fucking some little altar boy.
Some
and
bedroom pop is like my low-key.
That's funny. I just make techno.
Guilty pleasure.
That would be fun. I've never made techno.
Yeah, I just make straight techno.
I made one techno song, and it was I was trying to write in 7/4,
really.
and I was like, I'm gonna write like a 7/4 techno song, and
cool.
It's actually really cool. I forget what I named it. It's somewhere on my computer, but I'll probably never find it.
I
again.
want it.
But it was fun, dude. It was cool. Nobody could ever dance to it. They get super confused. And
I love that.
But,
Me too.
If you feed them one, I think it's okay.
Yeah, like one is set where everyone's like, wait,
one really
It's
weird
called
song.
tension.
yes.
Well, on my album Ghost Ride the Spaceship, shout out, that I released a couple years ago.
Outs. Everyone go listen right now.
I at the end of it, because I was always like, I really liked the idea. You guys, I don't know if you remember with like CDs, sometimes they had like the last song.
Yeah,
They'd be like
hidden song.
8 minutes of silence and then another song. Like you can't really do that with streaming anymore. So like, I wrote like a 12-minute song that's like this weird trip hop, like it's called Voyager Part 1. I actually have 2 more.
Oh, I think I remember
that
this song.
I'm gonna release eventually on the other albums.
Sick.
And it's just like a 12-minute weird vibey thing, and it's so funny because I put it out, and like of all the songs that were getting reposted to shit after the album came out, that one was like number 2 or 3 out of all of them, because people were like, dude, I just put this shit on and chill.
Yeah.
And like I love the idea that I don't have to change the song for the next 13 minutes.
Dude,
and like,
that makes me want to do something
such a
like
risk.
that.
And my manager at the time was like, are you sure you want to do that? Like, you realize that like the Spotify algorithm's going to hate that, and that it's not going to get a lot of plays because so many people aren't going to listen to it through.
One of my favorite songs is one like that.
He's just putting out the cons because I was very forward about the pros of it. Like, it's crazy and it's weird.
When it comes to art, usually the artist's pros just hold more weight. Like, it's just like, I understand all the negatives, but it doesn't matter. It's the fucking sauce.
You have this idea, and you got to follow that through as an artist, man.
Yeah.
Like, the heads know.
The heads know.
They're the ones you want.
And there's there's kind of 2 outcomes of that too. I've realized from like looking at the past like music history of stuff, is either you become the GOAT and you're so well respected and you're super famous and everyone loves you, or you become that underground legend that everyone knows about, that like so many people ripped off of and somebody else blew up on the idea 5 years later. But like the real ones, like the heads know, like, he invented that, or she invented that a long time ago.
Skrillex has Fortet come on tour with him.
See, Skrillex knows, dude.
Skrillex ahead.
Exactly. He's like the real one.
Everybody knows
occasionally
that
you'll get one of
Fortet
those.
is sick as fuck, but Skrillex is like, I'm gonna get you.
No. You need to get. You need to understand.
You get to get paid now.
We love you, Sonny, if you're up there with the aliens listening.
Every single one of those motherfuckers.
Yeah, it's such a good idea.
You know, so do your thing and be weird. There's a thing I always say too. It's like, if you do want to be like popular, there's a dress code. Like you can wear your pants on your head.
Sure.
And they won't let you into most restaurants, bars, and clubs wearing your pants on your head. But you're gonna maybe meet like a good 10 to 20, 100 other people who also love wearing their pants on their head, and you guys will be super best friends forever.
Get in where you fit in.
Weird electronic music, like Venetian snares and shit like that.
Exactly.
And like,
it's jazz.
Specific
octopus projects.
And there's
specific snare-loving people. It would be hilarious to regulate yourself to just like this group of snares.
Well, that's an artist.
Only use this fucking group of snares.
But that is a good idea.
Dude, I'm almost like that, dude. Like I was saying, dude, like I have like 4 that I rotate between, and I have like 2 or 3 kicks. I can name them.
Drums.
CMM OG kick number 2.
Ooh. I'm going to download it.
Nugs.
PD quick kick 1.
I think I have that one.
Yeah, it's a Player Dave sample.
Yeah.
It's so clean. It's so good. It's just like such a good kick for what I'm doing, And I got this. I renamed a couple of them, but I have like Best Snare was the original name.
Nice.
I have this other this other boom bap something snare 5 that came with Ableton that I like chopped a little bit,
cool,
and stuff like that. But I use those same fuckers over and over again, and there's
fun.
no shame about it, because I hate hate looking for new drum samples. I'm like, yeah, what the fuck.
I definitely have a hi-hat that I use. I think it's just called All-Purpose Hat. I can't remember. It came from some ancient sample pack forever ago.
Right.
But other than that, I love searching for new snare samples and kick samples, and I make them myself. Yeah. So, like, I fucking love
I have less
that shit.
fun with the kicks for sure, but I like exploring snares. Yeah, because there's like I don't know. I mean, every time there's like
different
a very
strokes for different folks.
Kick I want. Yeah.
Because I love that for pads too, but I hate that for risers.
Yeah.
Like I hate fucking going and searching for risers and making risers, but I need them. Yeah. But I fucking hate it.
Well, what I do is I have all these Leviathan noise risers.
I love
so
those.
I use I for risers and effects, I do like I guess 3 things now basically is the noise ones.
Okay.
Right? And then I might put like auto pan on it and like
sure,
something, but it's just noise, right?
Yeah.
And then I go take something from my track and turn it into a riser.
Yep. We were talking about this
especially
yesterday.
with Ableton 12s, and you just hit Command B on something, and it automatically just renders it into audio below. Is so
Welcome
handy.
to Bitwig.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah.
We're caught up.
Bounce.
It's like the Samsung versus iPhone shit. It's like, oh, you guys got that? We've had that for 4 years.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
And then I use Endless Smile like crazy now, dude. Yes, dude. Love Endless Smile.
Fucking rated. It's
For
so
$29 or something from the people who brought us sausage fattener.
Yeah.
I love them, dude.
Okay, so
and I only use the first 3 presets. I never go
They're
beyond
so
that.
gentle.
Honestly,
I think
use the
Face
first-
Melting Joy is the one I use almost every time. And I love their little faces too.
Yeah.
I know.
I always remember the sausage guy, as you turned it up, his face would get angrier and angrier.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
That was
now
a
I'm
game
having
changer.
fun, dude. Yeah.
So when you flatten a sound, we were literally just talking about this last night. Do you flatten your sound? Do you prefer just like stretching it a bunch on texture mode and pitching it, or do you do like a giant reverb and reverse it?
So generally, I just like to take like one note and I'll just like pitch it up.
Okay.
So I'll pitch it up and I'll go through the warp modes too and see which warp mode sounds better when pitching.
Okay.
You know, because maybe beats set to 16th would give it that little tick I need or something and line up with the snare as well. I'm always trying to match things to other things in my song when I'm at that point in the writing process. Like once I have my main idea out, I'm like, nothing is allowed to come in unless it knows somebody at the party.
Oh.
You know, unless it's like related, like you have to match
Amen,
the drums.
brother.
You're just an analogy god.
Thanks, dude. I like to party. But you know, it has to have something to do with something else. It's like if you have like your daughter's getting married and she's super famous and like people are trying to like crash the wedding, like Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn. Like you got to keep those guys out. You know, it's like, wait, what are you related to here? Like rhythmically, tonally, harmonically, like
you're so odd.
are you related to anything here? Like, and if
that's
not,
such a good analogy.
you
I
have
can't
to
wait to
go,
use that.
dude. You know, or you have to change. You know?
Yeah, because we talk about that all the time, where you just
Speaking to my heart right now.
Yeah, you just make a bunch of shit out of the same shit that is there, and you just continue to do that, and you just use from that pool. Like you just sit there and you
recycle.
Right, you just sit there and make a mud pie that is like
Breaking
never ending
some kind of
and
basic
continuous.
idea that you start.
Yeah.
Back to the cooking analogy. If you're like making a souffle, like if a jalapeno shows up to the party, shit gets weird. What's a little jalapeno doing?
Yeah, what are you doing
at the
here?
souffle party? You know.
Right, it does depend on...
You bring them in.
You belong at the cornbread party. But you know, you might invent a new type of souffle, and there's probably a 10% chance of that.
Correct. There's always, that's always there.
We can roll the dice at the craps table there, because at this craps table, we have an undo button.
Yeah.
You know, imagine going to Vegas with an undo button, dude.
Oh, my God.
Like, wow, dude. Nope, not this slot.
You get kicked out quick.
Yeah, it's true. You would get kicked out.
Beat my ass.
Undo.
Well, we've done over an hour, boys.
Oh, wow.
Already past an hour?
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, we start like I thought we started at like 9:20 or something like that. Yeah, word.
No, we technically sat down at like 8:00 something, but it was live before that too. But
word.
We can continue to go. I'm just
Word.
letting
No,
everybody know.
I mean I'm chilling, dude. Yeah, but
I'm also fucking vibing.
I don't know if you guys
I'm having
are...
fun. I have no other topics though. I didn't come prepared.
Yeah, I mean, shit. I will say that keep your eyes out if you're in Denver. I am planning a big show I'm going to announce soon. I'm not going to say anything else, but going to have another big show in Denver soon.
That's all you're going to say?
That's all I'm going to say. So I'm pretty stoked about that. I'm pretty stoked on the lineup and the vibe and everything. So
exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be a banger.
Can you tell us where? Nothing?
Well, not yet. Yeah,
Okay.
I do know where it is.
He responded with a big
I don't want to piss off any of the. I don't want to upset any of the. Of anyone doing this stuff, but I don't know why they would be upset. But you never know, dude. I always upset them.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you?
I do, dude. I just like talk a lot and stuff. So yeah, I was really excited.
I think you were I think you were very, very agreeable.
Yeah. I've got my Pretty Lights remix coming out soon. That Pretty Lights dropped it at Secret Dreams, which was sick.
Very cool.
Yeah, which was huge for me. Huge full circle. That's coming out, and then I got another EP coming out right after that.
God damn! Look at you.
Yeah, I actually have like 32 songs ready for release right now. So. Yeah, collabs with Wonky Willa, collabs with Maddie O'Neill, collabs with
Maddie O'Neill,
Common Creation.
Oh my God!
A bunch of dope people and stuff like that. So
very cool.
Yeah, getting really stoked on all this stuff. So stay tuned. There's a lot of music coming out, a lot of shows about to announce soon and stuff like that. So I'll be at Infrasound. If anyone's going to Infra.
Dude, I want to go so bad.
So,
I know. I have some homies playing, and I'm like, I want to go.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. That whole lineup is yoked.
So. Always is, dude.
Dude, always is, dude. That's one of the. That's what a lot of people message me, because I know of Infrasound stuff like that, but a lot of people are like, dude, that's one of like the dopest festivals.
That's what everyone says, right?
Like it's like such good music all weekend, no filler. Like everyone's sick and. It's a really good spot. That like Harmony Music Park or whatever is super dope. And so
badass.
A lot of shit coming out. A lot of things happening.
It's sick.
And
that's one of those things. You bring a bunch of fucking people that are really fucking good. And you just have them play over and over and over.
Dude, it's all you need, dude.
Crazy how hard
and you blast it loud.
Yeah.
And the people, they literally take their clothes off.
Dude, it's sick.
They're having such a good time.
Dude, they said nudes in a mixtape.
That's what we're doing, dude. That should be the name of an EP. Nudes in a mixtape.
Nudes in a mixtape.
Yeah, dude. I'd also be down to plug my Patreon. So if anyone is looking to, I've got a lot of good videos on. I like to teach a lot about like the fundamentals of stuff. Like I said, like science of sound, cymatics. Got a whole like hour and a half video up there about that, so you can understand like what are frequencies, what is phase cancellation. Helps you understand mixing and sound design and actually what you're dealing with. It's just wiggly air and a speaker pushing, stuff like that. A lot of stuff about music theory, because I feel like a lot of people neglect music theory nowadays and just kind of just like shoot around and hope for the best, but it's a lot more fun if you sort of understand it. So I've got videos on that, and also there's a private lesson tier on there too if anyone's trying to hop on Zoom with the boy.
Let's go.
Yeah. So that's all
Zoom
available.
with the boy, guys.
Yeah, it's a good time. I enjoy teaching people music.
Now, do you teach without pants on?
That's you're never gonna know. Yeah, because the camera's always chest up, dude.
I will imagine.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I will say I have taught without pants on.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, there you go, guys. There you go. That answers everyone's questions in chat. They're asking.
If you log on, you ask me to stand up, I might do it.
I might not.
So yeah.
Hilarious.
Hey, depends on how much you're paying.
Yeah, exactly. That is the hidden tier.
Hidden tier.
I'm not above it. It's hard out there, guys.
I would like an hour, little one-on-one.
It's actually just a feet cam. It's just underneath, and it's just a feet cam of your feet doing this while you're making beats.
Dude. I got some weird Cheeto-shaped toes and shit.
Yeah. The whole time you're making beats.
See my tension. Yeah.
Hilarious.
The whole time.
I do think I do that, though. Like, there's a couple times I found myself, like, making a bass, and I'm like...
Yeah,
you know,
you realize your body, and you're like,
Yeah, I was like, why was I
doing?
like, oh, I gotta hit.
You know,
Where
it's
is it?
something funny that I've noticed that I do
happens
when
all
I'm
the time.
producing is that I'll be down in my basement producing, like cooking up something fire, and I'll just be like, dude, I'm having a panic attack. I'm having a panic attack. I don't know why. I feel so anxious. And then all of a sudden I realize like I have to piss super bad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, dog, like you got to take a pee, dude. You had 4 cups of coffee, dude.
Yeah.
Like that's why you feel that way.
Been there.
So funny.
Every morning, it's like at least 6 bathroom breaks before 10.
Yeah.
Like every time. It's just like, holy shit.
Good time.
Getting older.
Well, Robbie boy,
Yeah,
thank you for joining us, dude. This was great.
Absolute pleasure,
this was
guys.
so much fun.
Thank you for everyone who tuned in.
How can people find you on the internet out there?
So I'm on all platforms. I'm mostly active on Instagram. I do my best to keep up on the TikToks and all that stuff. I don't do Twitter. I found it to be full of, you know, lots of weird stuff.
Dog
Videos
water?
of people dying and you know, and then just like other stuff. I'm just not interested.
It's
So I stay away
always
from
been-
Twitter. I'm
yeah,
more on
it's-
Threads. I like Threads.
Okay.
It's kind of just like a nice suburban version of Twitter.
Suburban.
You know, it's a lot more chill. So I'm on Threads, Instagram, Facebook. I feel like is just kind of a dead place too. But everything
it's like
kind of
the
cross
retirement
posts
home
over
of
there.
Twitter.
It's all just homemade spaceship. Everything.
cool.
No one else has
Let's
jacked
go.
my moniker yet.
There you go.
There was one guy who had a SoundCloud called My Cardboard Spaceship for a little bit. And
Oh, did you fight
he
him?
changed it. I didn't say anything, but
Oh,
he doesn't do anything. So I was like, you just do whatever you want. That's
Right,
fine.
yeah, that's
But
fine.
No,
It's-
it's all just homemade
It'll
spaceship.
never be an issue.
Instagram's probably the biggest platform to communicate with me and shit like that. Like I said, there's the
Sick.
Patreon too.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah, that's kind of
Sick.
where I'm at. Yeah,
Shout
some
out.
stuff
Let's
on
go.
YouTube too. Like I said, that hour or something long, 2-hour-long songwriting seminars on YouTube. If you guys want to check that out, pretty good caffeinated rant by your boy.
let's go. That's my favorite kind.
Yeah,
Full of bathroom breaks.
Yeah.
no, I was not allowed,
back.
dude. Yeah,
All right, we're back. We're back.
part of the job sometimes is that
No,
you
for
can't
sure.
go to the bathroom.
Dude,
Yeah.
do you know Copycat?
Yeah. He actually went to I actually got to know him because he was at the same Ableton seminar.
Oh, let's
Oh,
go.
nice.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fucking- that's
Andre's
crazy,
the
yeah.
boy, dude.
Andre is
Andre's
the boy.
hilarious.
Will literally just like get on the mic and be like, guys, I have to pee. Give me 2 minutes, and just like let the song play out. And if it stops, it stops. And
Yeah.
fucking
Dude,
run
I
back
got,
and
I
be
got
like,
a
"All right."
gross tour story. One time in Durango, I trusted the wrong fart, shit my pants on stage.
Oh, no.
Yeah, had to finish the set with shit in my pants, dude.
How
like-
far along
And then
were
I
you?
get off. I was like 25 minutes in. And then I get off stage, and the next guy comes up. He's like, "Did you fart up here or something?" Dude, I was like, "Bro, I straight up shit myself." That was like a 2-week tour too. So
That's a
yeah, I was down.
nightmare
I was
scenario.
down 1 out of 3 pairs of underpants,
Yeah.
dude, for that
Yeah.
tour,
Fuck.
which
Yeah, no
sucks,
doubt.
dude.
No
But
doubt.
you just can't go to the bathroom while you're up there, dude.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it sucks.
Is
But
what it is. I
let's
mean,
end on that. Yeah.
Like we were talking about earlier, furries wear diapers. Maybe DJs should take note.
Dude,
you know?
I don't know how like these like James Hype motherfuckers do these 8-hour sets or whatever without shitting their pants. So props.
Yeah.
Props to the pants shitters.
Lots of kombucha to get that fucking that
that
track
blood
real
right,
healthy,
dude.
so they can just hold it
Dude.
forever.
Maybe a
I don't
butt
know.
plug.
I don't know how that works.
Literally
A butt
touring
plug.
is like, how do I not get sick for 30 days?
Right, exactly,
Yeah,
exactly,
yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
All right, goodbye, everybody.
Folks,
Goodbye, everybody.
We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Thanks for tuning in.
I won't be here.
Underwear.
But, yeah.
That is called Depends.
Rob, we'll
but
see you
with
next
the
week.
Oh,
5
shit.
instead of
I'm on the
S.
podcast now.
Yep, every
Oh,
week.
no.
Bye.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.